Imagine this. A young captain, just 34, stands before his nation. Not a politician, not a dynasty, but a soldier. With quiet resolve, he's about to challenge a global superpower, France, without firing a shot. This isn't fiction. This is the real story of Ibrahim Traoré, a name now echoing across West Africa. Burkina Faso. Landlocked, rich in culture, but battered by poverty and extremist violence. For years, people watched as leaders failed to protect them. Foreign troops arrived, and hope faded. They were desperate for change, someone who understood their struggle from the front lines. Enter Captain Traoré, not born into power but forged in the trenches. He saw villages burn, comrades fall, and the old system fail. For him, this was survival, not politics. He believed the leadership was too disconnected to fix the crisis. So he stepped up, not for personal gain, but because his country had no other choice. The world was stunned. How could a young, unknown captain rise to lead over 20 million people? The answer: he embodied the change an entire generation craved. He didn't just talk patriotism, he lived it. His rise wasn't just political, it was a cultural earthquake. It sent a message: the old ways are over. A new generation of African leaders is here, building a future on their own terms. They're not asking for permission, they're taking charge. Who is Ibrahim Traoré? Before becoming the world's youngest head of state, he was a student of geology, not politics. Drawn to serve, he joined the army in 2010, choosing the front lines over comfort. He quickly earned respect as part of the elite Cobra Special Forces, fighting in the harshest regions. Traoré saw the devastation of conflict firsthand: fear, loss, and the desperate need for real security. Unlike many leaders from elite backgrounds, his education came from the battlefield. He speaks the language of the people because he is one of them. This bond of shared struggle built trust no politician could fake. His journey, from student to soldier to president, shows leadership can come from anywhere. Traoré's rise is proof that true leaders are forged by experience, empathy, and sacrifice. He risked everything for his homeland's future. By September 2022, Burkina Faso was at a breaking point. The military leader, Damiba, had failed to stop the violence. Soldiers felt abandoned. For Traoré and his peers, this was a failure of leadership, not just strategy. A deadly attack on a supply convoy was the final straw. The government's weak response proved it was out of touch. Soldiers felt it was their duty to act before the country collapsed. On September 30th, Traoré and his group took control, swiftly and with little bloodshed. They announced Damiba's removal on national TV, promising to restore security and dignity. At 34, Traoré became Africa's youngest leader. This wasn't just another coup, it was a movement led by someone from the front lines. He spoke with humility, calling for unity and collective responsibility. No grand promises, just a call to action for all citizens, especially the youth. It was a revolution born of conviction, not ambition. The world watched as a new kind of leader emerged. Burkina Faso's fate was now in the hands of its own people. What sets Traoré apart? Authenticity. He wears fatigues, not suits, a soldier still on duty, not a distant politician. This image resonates with citizens tired of disconnected elites. His leadership style is direct, clear language, no empty promises. He lays out the mission and calls everyone to play their part. Traoré's focus isn't on international summits but on securing Burkina Faso and improving lives. He champions self-reliance, urging citizens to build their own future. His message: African solutions for African problems. At 34, he represents a generational shift. Youthful, relatable, and tech-savvy. He inspires young people to believe they can lead and change their world. Traoré is breaking the old mold of African leadership. Traoré's leadership has electrified Burkina Faso's youth. In Ouagadougou and beyond, crowds gather, chanting his name and waving flags. These aren't staged rallies. They're genuine outpourings of hope. Young people see him as the embodiment of their dreams for independence and dignity. Military parades and youth rallies have become symbols of national pride and unity. Africa is the world's youngest continent, yet often ruled by the oldest leaders. Traoré shattered that disconnect. He's young, dynamic, and speaks their language. His talk of sovereignty and Pan-Africanism resonates deeply. Across West Africa, he's seen as a modern-day Sankara, inspiring youth to demand more. Traoré is now the face of a Pan-African youth movement for real change. Traoré's boldest move? Challenging France's grip on Burkina Faso. For decades, French troops were stationed there, but many saw them as ineffective and intrusive. Traoré demanded their withdrawal, ending the military accord and giving France 1 month to leave. This act was celebrated as the true start of independence. He began forging new alliances with Russia, Turkey, and Iran, seeking equal partnerships. Critics in the West objected, but many Burkinabe saw it as pragmatic and necessary. Traoré's defiance inspired neighboring countries to follow suit, expelling French forces. A new bloc of Sahelian states emerged, united in their quest for sovereignty. Traoré became a symbol of regional awakening and self-determination. He showed Africa it could reclaim its destiny. Traoré's story is more than one man, it's Africa's youth rewriting their future. For too long, Africa's story was told by others of poverty and dependency. Now, a new generation is seizing the pen, writing a story of pride and possibility. Traoré's journey proves youth can lead, innovate, and inspire. He's ignited hope and shown that change is possible when you refuse to accept the status quo. The challenges ahead are immense, but so is the belief he's awakened. This is a revolution of mind and spirit, a declaration that Africa is ready to lead. The courage of young leaders and the passion of millions will forge a new dawn. The future of Africa is young, bold, and being built right now. And it's a future unafraid to dream and fight for the impossible.